With the latest farm and ranch news, market reports, and more. This is KLBK's Ag Journal.
West Texas is a great place to grow vegetables, but the severe weather can often damage crops, if not wipe them out completely. In this week's Ag Journal, there's a solution that could be an advantage when it comes to protecting those high-value crops. It's called a high tunnel, and it just might be the light at the end of the tunnel that you've been looking for. Brandon Waits has more.
One of the biggest benefits of high tunnels here in West Texas is wind protection. Especially this year, we've had a lot of growers who have lost some crops due to high winds and hail.
A high tunnel differs from a greenhouse in that most high tunnels don't have electricity. High tunnels naturally cover the soil with a plastic cover and frame, while a greenhouse often has cement or gravel floors with fans that help the crops grow.
In high tunnels, we still need to irrigate, and what we do is you plant directly into the ground. So we can have a tractor go through here, cultivate the ground, disc it, and get beds shaped for production of vegetables and strawberries. And what most growers will do in high tunnels is use black plastic mulch. And the black plastic mulch helps with warming up the soils for early in the season, also keeping the weeds down and creating a less evaporative environment for the plants so they can use a lot less water.
Another advantage to high tunnels is being able to extend the season.
We've planted tomatoes in here as early as early March, and we've been able to have a harvest by the end of May. So a lot of times growers that are growing outside won't get tomatoes until maybe July or August, even into September sometimes, depending on the year.
While high tunnels are great for improving the environment for the crops that grow inside of them, it also helps the environment of insects and potential diseases.
With insects, we found higher populations of spider mites, aphids, sometimes worms. It all depends on the season. Now, in looking at strawberries in particular, we've seen less diseases, less fruit diseases inside of high tunnels versus those outside, because once it rains, that it creates a higher moisture levels and higher humidity, and you get additional fruit diseases that way.
While wind protection is the biggest benefit of high tunnels, it is not always a guarantee.
If you get the right design, especially for Lubbock, they work really well. We had picked up a Gothic style, which has 8-foot high sides, and it went up to a peak. And that really aerodynamically does not stand up to 85-mile-an-hour winds.
There are other alternatives, such as low tunnels, which are less expensive than high tunnels and provide most of the same benefits.
In that windstorm, the same one that knocked down our high tunnels, the low tunnels withstood that wind.
Cost ranges anywhere from $8,000 to $20,000 for larger high tunnels, but there are ways to receive financial assistance.
The Natural Resources Conservation Service, they have an EQIP program. It's not 100% cost, but it will help you pay off a bunch of the costs for purchasing a high tunnel.
Brandon Waits, KLBK News.
Well, happening at the